Happy April. I almost forgot what month it is, you guys. I'm so excited to be back for another live episode of Season Sunflower Hour. Happy April to everyone. If you are tuning in for the first time, welcome. I'm so happy you are spending your Tuesday night with us. If you are here, start letting us know in the comment section. Let us know where you are tuning in from. Say hello, give a shout out. You know how much we love seeing that. You guys, we have a huge episode coming up tonight, but we also have a huge month ahead of us. You know, I love keeping you up to date on all things ALS United Greater Chicago, and we got a lot of huge things coming up. I'm sure this is not news to anybody out there, but if it is, get ready. May is ALS Awareness Month. Yeah, this is one of the biggest months of the year. They're all pretty great, but extra special in the month of May because we really get to shout it from the rooftops, get to celebrate all the amazing work, all the individuals that are making such a difference, and fight even harder for those battling ALS. So May is ALS Awareness Month. Get ready, buckle up. It is going to be a big one. Now, we have some really cool things coming up to celebrate ALS Awareness Month. Let's get to it. We have Walk ALS Chicago. That is coming up just around the corner in May. How fitting. What a perfect month for that to happen. If you want to participate, you still can. It is not too late. You can go to our website, alsunitedchicago.org, for all the information. We also have Living Well with ALS coming up on May 13th. That is incredible. If you know anybody, if you yourself are a caregiver or living with ALS, or know anyone, like I said, that is, please send them over to us. It is completely free. It is amazing to attend. And you learn so many great tips. So many amazing speakers will be there to shed some light on living well with ALS. And again, ALS Awareness Month is coming up in May. And then just after that, Lou Gehrig's Day is coming up on June 2nd. So many awesome things coming up. And you know, I'll always keep you guys posted. But if you want more information on all of those things, plus additional info on, you know, how to get involved, where to go, how to get your tickets for Lou Gehrig's Day, all that great stuff, head over to alsunitedchicago.org. And in fact, you can even check out our calendar. It will have all of the good stuff up there. Let me put it in the comment section for you, just so you have a link to make it nice and easy. You can head over to our calendar and get all the good stuff. Stay up to date on everything that we are doing. I love seeing you guys chime in already. Donna is here and she is ready for an exciting show tonight. Well, I promise that we will not disappoint you. Kathy is also tuning in tonight and she loves Sunflower Hour. You know what? I'm a little bit biased, but I happen to second that. I happen to love it too. And I love when all of you come out. And as you know what, guys, I know that you've probably, if you've been on a show before, you've heard me say this. I'm just going to throw this out there at the beginning of the show. Thank you. Thank you for every single person, every single one of you that tunes in, that shares these videos, that shares our story, that directs people to come watch the show, that tunes in yourself, that spreads the message, all of this. You guys are making such a huge impact and you're a part of this family and we could not do this without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of ALS United Greater Chicago. Thank you for everything all of you do. We really, really appreciate you. And you're part of the Sunflower Hour family. I'm so glad you are. Well, let's get to some good stuff. I don't want to hold this up any longer because we have another amazing guest tuning in with us tonight. Man, let's go. From marathon courses to volunteer tents, this man does it all. He continues to show his support over and over for those battling ALS. Now, no matter the task, Julian is front and center to take it on with purpose, passion, and a true desire to help. Julian lost his father, Dr. Julian Headley, to ALS in 2018, something we are fighting desperately to put an end to so no one else has to lose their father or loved one. And he continues to honor his dad's legacy every single day. And here to share his journey, please welcome marathoner, fundraiser, and one of our very own ALS United Greater Chicago ambassadors, Julian Headley.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Hey. Oh, welcome, Julian. I am so excited. I am so ready for everyone to get to enjoy you tonight because I just got to see you recently. So I feel like I got my fix. So now I get to share you with everybody else.
Right. How's everybody doing? I know you can't hear me, but yeah.
So, oh, they can. They can
yeah,
hear you.
I know I can't hear them. That's what I was about to say.
It's true, but
So
you
yeah.
know what you can do? Don't you worry. I will put all of the comments up throughout the show. So if you guys want to chime in, I have a feeling you have some family members watching tonight. So if any of the family, if you guys are out there, if you have questions, you want to put Julie on the spot, please do. If you want to jump in and make some comments, I will share them with the show. Don't you worry. We've got the Mazzantis joining from the Bayfront. They are sending hugs and love. You know what? I love you guys so much. Sending them right back at you. Thank you guys. They have been such steadfast supporters of the show. And again, honestly, we couldn't do it without your guys' support. So thank you so much. Ooh, I'm just going to blow these up real quick. And I promise, Julian, we will get into this. But people are jumping in, and I love this. Synovia, she's chiming in. Her and Amaya are watching. Looking forward to the show. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Julian, you are popular tonight, Julian. Everyone's
I
coming out.
can see you all logged in. Yeah, I'm pretty certain my mom and my stepmom are logged in, and my fiance Tanya are logged in. I don't know if who else might be on there, but yeah.
I love it. Give a shout out to mom, stepmom, and Tanya.
And my son's Major and Bernie, so so
I love it, Major and Bernie. Hey. Oh,
they're probably not on. They're too cool for school for that, but yeah. So
no way. Nobody's too cool for Sunflower Hour. I hope they are here tonight.
I sent them the link, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh my God. I hope they're here tonight. Carrie Vicky. Oh, Julian, you just got to see her. We were all together. Julian, you're a rock star. Carrie speaks the truth.
She says so.
It is so true.
I mean, she's not
if
a liar.
She says it, it's true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
That's going to be built into the title next time. You're a marathoner, you're a fundraiser, rock star, and ALS United Greater Chicago ambassador. I like this. Your title's just getting longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
It is. I like it. Well, my gosh, let's dive into some good stuff here, Julian. This is a crappy topic right at the gate, right? This is such a bummer, but I am so in love with this family and the way that you have taken some really horrible things in life and turned it into something beautiful. So out of the gate, let's start with, for anyone that, like myself, never got to meet your dad. Can you tell us a little bit about your dad?
Dr. Bernard Donaldson Headley the first, born and raised in Jamaica, came here in the 60s somewhere, and came here, got his master's, PhD in criminal justice and sociology. Had, with my mom, had my oldest brother, Bernard, his namesake, and myself. And then with my stepmom, he had two more boys, Zachary and Kamal. And then he lived in Chicago for the majority of my life. I lived on the East Coast in Washington, D.C., and I would spend my summers come here in Chicago and spend my summers here with him and go on campus where he taught at Northeast Illinois University. He was a fun guy, had a temper, and he's Jamaican. It comes with the course.
It's part of the DNA, right? That's just how they do it.
But smart guy. I remember one time, I would, to fast forward to the story, I was going through a tough point in my life, and I called him in Jamaica, and I was like, hey, I was calling you, I'm going through some stuff, just trying to get my head right. And he goes, oh, what's going on? And I was like, well, first of all, how you doing? He goes, I got some medical issues, I'll be fine. I was like, you mean medical issues? He goes, yeah, I lost all feeling in my right arm. I'm like, I'm the only lefty in the family, so that's kind of major. And so he goes, yeah, they don't know if it's MS, ALS, or Parkinson's. I was like, well, kind of a big deal, old man. And then, of course, the inevitable. That was April of 15. And so that was the short story of him. But and so, of course, it was a tumultuous, and my stepmom Althea was his caregiver. She probably can relate to that better. How it was a quick 3 years, probably a long one, because I only saw him once during that whole period. And so that's where. So that's the short story of who he is. And that part of the story. But yeah.
I love it. He sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Good man. Good
Right.
man. I mean, that's in the DNA too. And I know you, and I can attest to that. So I'm sure if your dad was anything like you, absolutely
I mean, he was a
amazing.
handsome man. I look just like him. So, I mean,
Of course. I mean, it goes without saying. It goes without saying.
yeah,
Shh,
yeah,
your fiance is watching. You're going to get me in trouble. But yeah,
yeah,
you're
right.
very handsome.
Right.
She's a very lucky
He
woman.
passed on his looks to me, not his brains. My brother's got his brain. Yeah, got his
Oh,
look. Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe
Yeah.
it. I don't believe it at
So,
all. Well, he sounds incredible. I know this is such a big question, but I mean, I'm close with my family. I love it when I sit down and try to think about, like how do our parents impact us? What is it they leave with us? I mean, how did your dad inspire you? Maybe what lessons did you take away? Or do you still find yourself thinking, "Ooh, how would my dad do this?"
oh yeah, that I do all the time. I do that WWJD. I do WWDD. What would Daddy do? I called him Daddy till the day he died. You know, some people it's Dad or whatever. I think all four of us called him Daddy till the day he died. Yeah, I do that all the time. Um, I inspired. I mean, he gave me space to be myself. Um, I'm not a book smart person. I joke, but I'm smart guy, but I'm not like a book smart person. I was like a literal person. I had to touch and see it and feel it for it to make sense to me. And he gave me space to do that. So, like when I moved here when I was 14 to live with him in Evanston, he just, he said, "Hey, you got one job is to wash the dishes every night, and then you could be home by 7 o'clock. You can go hang out with your friends." Once he met all my friends, they were all Jamaican too. So once he met all my friends, he was like, "Hey, you just make sure you're home by 7. You do your homework. You got one job, and that's it." And then he just allowed me the space to just be myself, and he kind of like met me where I was at. I mean, but when he was mad, he was mad. I mean, that's like any father, um, but yeah, that was the thing about him. He just let me, my quirkiness. My family knows all too well my quirkiness, especially my mom and my brother. Tanya now knows him too, but my oldest brother Bernie, they all know it. But you know, that was the thing I can say most about him. It's just like he, gave me space to be me. Yeah.
Do you feel like you brought that into your life as a dad when you became a dad? Do you find yourself kind of taking lessons from him on how you raise your boys?
Yeah, my boys march to their own beat, and
I love it.
we let them, the whole family. So yeah, and then like my oldest son Major, he has a lot of my dad's mannerisms, and I was like, and my dad moved back to Jamaica in 2000,
Okay.
and I just, Major was born in '04, and one day he was sitting, and I was like, "He's sitting just like your father, like your grandfather." I'm like, "Where do you get that from?" Clearly got it from me, because
Yeah.
I got it from my dad, So, and the weird hand gestures that we do, yeah, all that, because you just kind of watch them. So,
That's so cool.
and yeah, my boys are that way. They kind of do. My older son, he's like a touch it, feel it type of guy. My younger son, Bernie, who's the third generation Bernard. So there's three Bernards. So my dad, my oldest brother, Bernie, and my younger son, Bernie. So it's three Bernards as well. So so we call my youngest one Little Bernie. But Little Bernie's very literal, just like my old man. He likes to research as well. So he just likes to, hey, John. I see
John and
John
Patty are watching.
yeah, so they have little bits and pieces of my dad, in them. So
I love that. I think that's so cool. I think there's something just so beautiful about the genetics and just how that all plays out. How you start to see those little mannerisms, those little tidbits of
right,
your family.
right.
I think that's really cool. Speaking of really awesome things, I don't even know the story, so I really want to hear this. You had mentioned to me, we were talking about after losing somebody, feeling them with you, right? Just feeling that presence. I've heard so many amazing stories here that give me goosebumps of things that after someone has lost a loved one here and they see them, they have these spiritual moments where they speak to them or see a butterfly or had something that was important to them that reminds them of their loved one. You told me, but I didn't get the actual story here. You told me that you actually had your dad come to you in a couple
Yeah,
dreams.
I had,
Right? What happened? Tell us.
my dad used to have this way where he didn't curse, but he would have this way where he would look at you and you did something that didn't make sense to him. He'd be like, the hell are you doing? He put his hands on his hips. And I had a dream. He had this apartment in Rogers Park. A lot of times he was on the third floor, apartment 312. I still remember the apartment number because I thought it was so cool that his apartment number was his area code. Because I was living in Maryland. Maryland. If you're from Maryland, you don't say the Y. So I'm trying to Maryland. So I was living there. So I would call him, and it'd be like 312, whatever his number. I was like, oh, it's 7 years old. Oh, that's cool. His apartment number is his phone number. But anyway, I had a dream about a year after he died. He used to catch the elevator to the third floor. I'd like run up the stairs and try to beat him to to his apartment number or to his unit, which was right in front of the elevator. And so I had a dream. I was running up the stairs he wasn't even in the first part of the dream. I got to the apartment and I ran up the stairs. And it was like a time in my life I was kind of like running around with my head cut off, just trying to whatever. And I remember I was running up the stairs and I looked out the window to the apartment next to it, and I saw him in the window with that look, like, what the hell are you doing? I knew exactly what it meant. I was running around at the time just with my head cut off, just doing all sorts of, And that was one of the dreams I had. And I woke up laughing more than like in a cold sweat, whereas opposed to I had it was about 6 months after he passed. So the last time I saw him, he really couldn't move from the neck down, but he could talk. And so, he gave me some life advice the last time I saw him. And then when I went to see him in my dream, it was the same situation at my Uncle Calvert's house in Maryland. And this time he couldn't talk, but he still had usage of his hands. And so he had a notebook and he had like a bunch of life lessons in there for me. And he just kept like flying, like it was something he said on there that he would fly really fast through it. But like he kept going faster and faster. And I knew what it meant that he was running out of time. And so like he had already been passed for about 6 months. I knew he was running out of time. And I know the one thing I do remember seeing, a lot of stuff comes to me that I think he might have said, like I'm driving and something happens, I think he might have said. And but the one thing I remember vividly in that dream was like, it said, tell him you love him. And I know he was talking about my sons. So, but like something will come to me when I'm doing something, or it'll be that reminds me, or like maybe that was in that notebook because he was just like flying through it. Like I don't have a lot of time, just, but, like even, my son goes to Northeast Illinois where he taught for 20, 30 years, where I went to school, where my brother Bernie went to school. So just like being on the campus, I could hear his voice, feel his spirit, went to his room door where his office was. But that one was like, I don't think I slept for like 3 days after that.
That's crazy. He had something to tell you.
Yeah. And like I said, every now and then I'll be driving, like he had this Volkswagen GTI that he loved, like a favorite car ever, that he owned. He'd spend every Saturday morning cleaning it. One time my brother threw up and we were on the way to Wisconsin. We had like just crossed the border into Wisconsin. He got sick, threw up. He turned right back around and spent the rest of the day cleaning the car. We were like, just stop at the gas station and clean it right now. He's like, nope, gotta go back. But so every time I see like a Volkswagen GTI, he'll cross my mind, especially if it's a black one. So,
yeah. Oh, I love it. Those kind of things give me goosebumps. Seriously, I think that is so. It's a miracle. Right. It's a little miracle that you got an extra moment and you got to come see you.
Right.
Oh, it just gives me chills. And I have the word. So, by the way, I'm so sorry for everyone watching. I have a cold, and it comes at those beautiful times. So you'll see me. So I normally don't do this. Drinking water, mute myself if I'm coughing. I'm having all the feels. But Julian, I know you can hold it down.
Yeah,
and
I
things
had a
like that
cold.
happen.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's
That's
no,
what. That's what.
you love your dad. You love it. I
Yeah.
was getting misty. If I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to think don't cough, I would have full on cried. So that was the thing that kept me from getting emotional,
Right.
because I'm telling you, goosebumps. It just gives me goosebumps. I think those things are, I believe it wholeheartedly. And he had something that he wanted to tell you, and he did.
Right.
And you were open and aware to grasp it.
Right.
It's
Right.
crazy. Well, you actually kind of teed this up perfectly for me. Actually, that wasn't even planned, but you did tee this up perfectly for me. Oh, real quick, Kendra is joining the show, which is amazing. She's late. You're true, Kendra. Better late than never. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm excited you're here. So, Julian, you teed that up. You were talking about in that first stream, you were just running around like a chicken with your head cut off. In the
Right.
theme of
Right.
running, like I said, beautiful tee up. I
Right.
have another beautiful story I would like you to share with everyone, because when we were talking, this seems hilarious and very fitting. Most people maybe have an adult beverage or two. Maybe they have a little bit too many and
Right.
get a little bit silly. And I
Yeah.
don't know, go to like the local Taco Bell and eat an entire box of like 12 to 24 tacos. I mean, that sometimes does happen, right? No judgment here. You, on the other hand, took a very different approach. You drink a little too much, and then tell us what that leads to.
That's my mom and my stepmom to put on mute real quick. So
Yeah, guys, go earmuffs. Just kind of like
earmuffs,
cover
mom.
your ears.
Yeah,
Cover your ears.
but so it was July of 17. My stepmom had posted a picture of my dad. I hadn't seen any pictures of him since he had been diagnosed, and posted a picture. I think it was my little brother's graduation or something. And then I saw a picture of him, and I was like, yeah, it really hit home. And I'm sorry. So to your point, I'll fast forward, China. Was out drinking a little bit too much that night, and a lot too much. And so I got home, and that wasn't that. I just had a bunch of stuff going on in my life, and so I just drank a little bit too much. I walked to and from the bar. Got home. Because now you're wired. You drank too much. You can't go to sleep. And so I went on Facebook, and that's when I saw a picture my stepmom posted of her with my little brothers. And that's when I saw my dad in a wheelchair, and the scene we all see. And I was like, wow, this is real. This is, he does not have a lot of days left. And I was like, of course I started crying. I'm like, I should do something. Little voice in my head, the drunk voice said, you should run a marathon. I'm a bike racer. I race bikes for a living until my knees gave out. And so I hadn't run at that point for 21 years. I was 41. Yeah. So I hadn't run for 21 years by that point. And so somebody, you should run a marathon. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I go on and find like local ALS chapters, and I find one in DC that's doing the Marine Corps Marathon, and then I sign up right then and there to run it. I forgot how much I had to raise, and I did it. And I was like, well, I was born in DC. That'll be fun. And then I woke up the next morning, probably because I was drinking till like 5 a.m. Probably woke up at like 1 or 2 o'clock, and I woke up and I was like, what the heck did I do? And then sure enough, the credit card statement was already there for the initial registration. I was like, I guess I got to start running. And it was 12 weeks from then until the Marine Corps Marathon. And so, I mean, I ran it, I finished, I raised the money. It was probably the most selfless thing I've ever done in my life. And one of the, I don't even know if I say I was proud of myself, because it wasn't for me. So, and then that was the last time I saw my dad, was right around August. He happened to be in Maryland getting fusion treatment. And so I went there to see him, to tell him face to face that I was running this marathon in his honor. And so ran it, and it was still, like I told you, yes, I don't necessarily know what surreal means, but the way people use it in sentences, it felt surreal, like running these streets. I used to drive, running by the Capitol and the White House, and like on the streets. And then because I knew I wasn't going to be doing any world beating time. I called my family, spoke to my sons a few times, spoke to my niece Portia a few times, called my brother, called my mom. I did not call I tried to call my dad on WhatsApp. And I remember my stepmom said, well, he was being interviewed for a documentary. I was like, he was working.
He's got things to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's busy. He's a busy man.
Yeah, right. He sent me the pictures like a week later of that. But and so yeah, that was it, So sometimes something good comes when you drink too much.
I mean, like I said, most people drink too much and hit up White Castle or Taco Bell. You drink too much, and it leads to you becoming a marathon finisher in the DC Marathon. So,
yeah, in my hometown, and then and so right, and then when I finally met my family, that is ALS United of Greater Chicago, I remember that day vividly because I think it was Memorial Day of 2018, and I just called. I was like, "Can I come and buy some bracelets from you guys?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." And my sons were also. I was like, "Look, we're gonna go." And then I remember I don't think I called Jamaica, but I know I sent pictures of me and the boys with Sarah and Julie. I think Sam might have been there. First time I met everybody. I remember that was May 27th, according to my Google Photos picture. It was May 27th of 2018. Remember sending the pictures, met all these people. And then as luck, fate, whatever, or just the big clock would have it, my dad was gone 2 weeks after that. Yeah, so June 8th.
Oh,
so that was the first time I met everybody was May 27th. Okay. All the whole team, and then June 8th.
And I remember you had told me that you kind of had a little dream. You wanted to come run the Chicago Marathon, right?
Yeah, I wanted him to, I do not remember if I asked him or brought it up. I think I might have said next time I want to do a marathon, I want to push you. Maybe I thought it. I just don't remember if I asked him or brought it up. And so I was thinking, 2018, I could, push him. Like you see all those people that do. I ran by. I think it was when I did Chicago in 21. We had a teammate that ran it. And they were pushing their family member who had ALS. So, yeah. So I wanted to, So, and then he had the nerve to die Father's Day weekend too. It's perfect timing. But yeah.
You know what though? It feels like in his kind of presence, like that was his grand. Like he was making a grand finale.
Yeah, exactly.
He was gonna go big.
My brother. I think he had bought tickets to go down and spend Father's Day weekend with him, but he was gone. Shortly before that. So, but yeah.
This sucks. ALS just, I mean, there's literally no other words to say about this disease. It absolutely sucks. And that's why I think, Julian, what you are doing is so important. Every single mile that you run, every person you talk to about your dad's story, everyone you are out there as an ambassador spreading awareness with, it's getting us closer. It is getting us closer and closer to ending this, or just at least making it livable, because I know I don't want it. You don't want it. We don't want anyone else to go through what you went through. It's not fair and it's not right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to end this. We're going to keep freaking fighting until we can end this.
Right. So that's my way of honoring them by being with the team and doing all the things. So the ladies and the guys on the team all the time, if I can't help out, it's just because I can't. It's not that I don't want to, so.
And why running? That was my question to you, which I thought was such a beautiful answer. Why running?
Because two things. There's rides. Riding is easy for me. I was a bike racer. That's easy. So I really haven't touched my bike, and I had a bad car accident in 2013. So I really haven't ridden a bike since then. But I can get up, without bragging. I can go for a ride tomorrow, and whatever. But and then the other thing too is when we used to come and spend summers and spring break with my father. When he lived on the north side in Rogers Park, he lived right by Loyola University, and he and I would go run the track probably 2 or 3 times a week. And we always did, for whatever reason, we always did 12 laps. And that's what got me into it. I'm 10, 11 years old, and my brother would be playing basketball at the park, and my dad and I would just run go there to the track, run 12 laps, and he would tell me all sorts of various stories about Bob Marley, the 7 national heroes of Jamaica, bunch of stuff that it comes to me here, at the most weird times, and so that's what got me into like endurance sport. And then I realized down the road I'm good at cycling, which I would not have found out if I didn't live in Evanston at the time and realized that, I started riding when I was living in Maryland, but when I got to Evanston at the time, he took me to a bike shop just to try and buy me a bike, and then I just saw these race bikes and I got hooked. So, that's why. It's just because it does remind me of him, and when we run, and so like even when I would come back home to Maryland for the school year, I remember one time my mom, she would always drop me off at school early, and right behind my school was a running track, and I would always run 12 laps every morning before school because that's the way she asked me one time, why do you run before school? It's like, I run 12 laps every day. Why? I was like, in my mind, as 11, 12 years old, because 4 laps is a mile. Yeah. I didn't have a good reason.
I love that. I mean, so it kind of brings you closer to your dad. And I love what you said about, for you, cycling is easy, right? Well, I hear this many times from those that are a part of Team ALS. Let's be serious. I've never done it, but I know it is hard. 26.2 miles, that is hard. That is no easy feat to put your body through that, the training that you go through to get to that. And I hear this over and over. You're doing it because someone with ALS can't. You're the voice when they can't be. You're the legs when they can't be. You are running it because what they are going through on that battle is so much more difficult than, like, if they can do that, you can put your body through that. And I think that in itself is absolutely amazing. So what was that training process like for you? At least we'll hit the rest of your marathon amazingness, but at least when you were going through the DC marathon, it was 12 weeks. You only had 12 weeks to train. What the heck?
That sucked. One, not having run. 2, I'm a strength coach and a personal trainer. And so, but at the time, part of the reason why I called my dad when he told me that he lost off on his right arm, I want taking an office job, which is not me. I like wearing hoodies, sweatshirts, and sneakers. I want taking an office job, and I was calling to get my head right. And the one thing he said about the office job was, show up. Remember, he said, just show up. I know it's not what you want to do, but show up. And when I saw him 2 years later, and you could see that the job was beating me down, he goes, you got to figure something else out. But in the middle of that, to answer your question, so I would work that job, which was pretty far, like an hour and 15-minute drive from where I lived. I had to be there for 8 o'clock. And then I would still have clients at the gym that I would train. And so I'd leave there at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock sometimes, be at the gym at 7 till 9. And then I would run the 606 running trail, which is right by where I lived at the time. And that trail round trip is like 5 miles. I would just run it back and forth. I couldn't be too far from my house in case my sons were there. They were 13 and 8 at the time, or 12 and 7 at the time. So I just couldn't be too far from them in case I need to be about 15 minutes. I would just literally at 10, 11 o'clock at night, I'd run the 606. And on my lunch break at the office, I go to the gym and work out. I bought a membership at the local community center and worked out on my lunch break. And so that's what it was for those 12 weeks. I ran every other day and get in between, give myself time to recover. But then, so.
Was it cathartic for you? Because I hear that a lot too. Like I said, I'm not a runner, so I don't know these things, but a lot of people say that was their moment. That's what helped them deal with the pain of losing.
Yeah, I didn't get the runner's high like people talk about, but it was just cathartic, and with everything going on, it was more like, this is part of my life. This is what I do, and because I was not doing it for me, it made it easier. And it was a stress reliever, I wasn't in therapy or anything like that, so it was like a therapist. I would, if I got tired, I'd yell, I'd scream, I'd cry, I'd whatever. Sometimes in the middle of it, I'd stop and do yoga. Like on a Sunday or Saturday when it was sunny out, and I'd run daytime, which was like a welcome surprise, a welcome gift. But yeah, it was not. That runner's high. I didn't get that. That's I don't even know what that is. But no, it was cathartic. But that endorphin release thing, I didn't get that.
You didn't get it. Well, that means you have to keep doing it, which is beautiful because you did. You found your way to us, which I love. We roped you in. You became part of the ALS United family, and then you went on to run the Chicago Marathon with Team ALS in 21. Yeah, 21. And I love how you said this. You were telling me you do alternating years because you run 1 year. So you ran in 2021. Then 2022, you wanted to be there to support the runners in the cheer tent, cheer them on and be that backbone for them. And then you come back and you ran in 2023, then back in 2024 to cheer the runners on and support them. And now you are back running the Chicago Marathon again for Team ALS for this year.
Yeah, running this year. And
I know, but let's make that announcement. Let's make that announcement because I want you to do this, lay into this. Not only, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big one in case you didn't see our Instagram. I'm going to let Julian announce this, but we are expanding. Hit them, Julian. Tell them what's going on.
2026, we are expanding to Tokyo. And I signed my registration for the team with Sarah about 5 hours ago. So I'll be one of the 4, I think it's 4 of us that are doing Tokyo.
What? So, I didn't know that was like a new thing just today.
Yeah. So, I told you yesterday, but it's official for me as of today. So.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is absolutely huge. So Team ALS is going international. We have secured bids for the 2025 Berlin Marathon and the 2026 Tokyo Marathon, which Julian will be at running. That is so insane. They get to be out there spreading awareness and running for Team ALS, taking us international. This is huge. And this is just the beginning. I know this team is unstoppable. So I don't even know where they're going to get us next year, but I have a feeling it's going to be big. This is huge.
So odds are, I don't know yet what other events I'll be doing next year, but I do want to do something because next year I hit a big number next year.
30. Right. You hit 30 again.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Plus 20. But yeah. We'll go with
Age
that.
Age is a mindset. All my ladies out there know I stopped aging at 25. So I don't know. Every year I just keep turning 25 all over again. We pick an age and we stop. Julie is chiming in. I love that Julie is joining the show tonight. Julie says, "Run, Julian, run." It was awesome to have you walk through our door. I second that, Julie. She walked in.
So there we go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing. This is so exciting. So clearly some of the people tuning in tonight did not see the announcement because they are getting so pumped. They're getting so excited. Julie's pumped that you're going to be joining the team in Tokyo. What exciting news. Congratulations. I know that is huge. Crazy. I know. What the heck? Right. It's insane. And Carrie Ricky, wow, that makes Julian an international rock star. It is true. You're about to go international, Julian.
I want to dive in. The big sunglasses now or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I'm thinking a big old giant gold chain that says ALS.
Yeah, exactly. It starts in July,
Absolutely. I love every piece of this. Well, I want to know, we're going to have you on the show after you run the Tokyo Marathon because we need a little compare and contrast here. We want to know all about what that is like. But you have run the marathon in Chicago for Team ALS multiple times. What is that experience like? What's it like to be a part of Team ALS?
Like I said, it's my family. It's 2021 and 2023 were 2 different experiences. Everybody I know that ran 21 had a bad day, myself included. I trained people that ran it. They all had bad days. Post-pandemic, everybody just kind of just frazzled. And so everybody, myself included, had a bad day. But it's like, it's not DC and Maryland and Virginia because the Marine Corps runs through both states and the nation's capital. It's hilly and Chicago's pancake flat. You just go through all these cool neighborhoods. And, you got, you see the nice houses in like Old Town, and the party scene in Boys Town, the party scene in Chinatown, not too far from where I used to live at the time. You going through like the South Side, you see all those cool neighborhoods, and the community aspect of Chicago is really cool. And I see people along the side who I know, like my friends at Black Chicago Runners. I see them. Black Girls Run as well, and then my team with Under Armour, I'll see they'll do some stuff as well. So it's always, they're more so at the expo, but it felt more community. Not knocking Marine Corps. Marine Corps it's a different thing because you're actually paying tribute to the servicemen. So like at mile 12, you're supposed to be quiet, and you turn off your music and you run through that, and they have like stakes of all the different fallen soldiers. And ironically, I stopped to catch my breath, and I stopped right in front of Pat Tillman's stake. It was just there's literally a stake every 3 feet, and of the thousands on the other side, I happened to stop right in front of his. And then 2023, I don't know why I had a mental breakdown in 2023. I have no clue. And so it's funny, all 3 marathons I did the exact same time, right at 6 hours. But I stopped and drank, and then I got stretched. But this time I'm going to try and run this year for time. So if my family comes, I'm just going to wait and keep running. So, and the other thing, I blame it on this. My headphones died in 2023. I'll blame it on that. That was it.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. It just threw you off your game. Yeah. You know, consistency is key, though. If there's anything, you're very consistent year after year.
If Sarah's on, she'll tell you, I threw that thing at her and cursed a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, just take this daggone thing. But she was like, okay, thanks. But yeah, so I mean, I love it. It's fun. And it's flat, which makes it a little bit easier. Like DC, you have the nerve, the last 0.2 miles, it's like stair steep.
And we can't let your headphones die because I know you listen to something really special. At least you did on one of the runs. Yeah.
One of the coolest experiences with my dad was right when I moved here. He took me to see Miles Davis at the Taste of Chicago. Took me to see Miles Davis, and right before the Chicago 23 marathon, NPR released the actual recording of that. And so I ran to that when I ran 23. So the actual live recording of that, so I can, I swear I heard him yelling, yeah, so whenever he loved Miles. So, yeah. So, but yeah, I could, obviously I did, there was thousands of people there, but you almost, yeah, that's probably one of my favorite memories of him that day. There's a couple stories that day that are pretty funny, but that one is, but yeah, that was one of my favorite memories with him. So yeah.
I'm sure you
it's on my playlist this year too. So
Yeah. Do you feel it when that comes on? Does that give you a little extra like oomph to get through it and run harder?
Yeah, he raised my oldest brother and I always say the 3 basic food groups. It was James Brown, Miles Davis, and Bob Marley. So he raised us on the 3 basic food groups. So those 3 guys. So
is that your playlist? Is that your whole playlist for the run?
They're all, Papa Don't Take No Mess, of course, is always on there. Take Some and Leave Some by James Brown as well. Zimbabwe by Bob Marley, War by Bob Marley, Nefertiti by a Miles Davis album. But yeah, my mom says a story when my brother Bernie was in diapers. I guess they had no babysitter and took him to a James Brown concert. She said my dad was livid that they had to leave because the baby was crying. So, so they couldn't even stay for the whole thing. So
oh my gosh, I love it. So it's in your soul. I mean, you guys were just raised on
we were raised on good music. We were raised on good music.
Yeah. So we got to get those headphones working so that you can hear your jams as you're running through the marathon and think about your dad.
Yeah. So they were brand new. I think it just, you got to cycle through it one time before because I charged it. I think that's what it was. So
that's okay. We'll get it locked down for this one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What about the
these,
cheers?
They keep falling out my ear, but not these. I'll get some other ones. Yeah.
Yeah, not those ones. What about the cheer tent? Because Anyone watching this, if you are in the Chicago area, or heck, if you even just want to come in, the Chicago Marathon is such an amazing experience. I had some friends fly in from Switzerland last year for the Chicago Marathon. So if you guys are in town and you want to be a part of this, please come out. Everybody is welcome. Julian, what does it mean to you to be, out there running and to be able to look on the sidelines or hear those cheers or just have people
Somebody in orange or whatever. Yeah. You see our, it, like I told you, I just mentally, I just wasn't there in 23 for whatever reason. And so I saw Sarah at mile 12. I think I saw Sam at about mile 16 or 17. And my brother and my fiance were at like mile 20. And that's when I really lost it. But it does kind of like, it's like, people have those signs, tap here for more energy, and you tap it. But when you see your team, you stop, you hug them. I saw Patty, John's wife, twice on the course. That meant a lot. Natalie as well, their daughter. So it does help when you see that, because it's a mental grind. It's a mental grind, and just any little bit helps. Any little bit helps to make a difference. And so yeah, if you're, I'm drawing a blank of her name right now. Her husband died of ALS, as she was 21, as she was preparing.
Gretchen?
I'm sorry, 22.
Gretchen.
Yeah. And, Sarah and I were at like mile 18 waiting for it. And that was right when she started to lose it, and she died as she was training for the marathons when he died, and she still did it, salute to her. But, you can tell those things make a difference, and it's just a familiarity. It's your family. You don't want to be bonded by what we're bonded by, but you make the most of it. So.
Sorry guys, I'm over here. I swear, it's not even teary-eyed this time. Normally it's me losing it over here. It's just me trying to hold it together. Live show. This is what happens. Sorry about that.
Those who don't know, she lives in Bali 11 months out of the year. So this is
this is rough for me. This is
rough for me right now in Chicago.
This is rough. Speaking of Gretchen, though, it's awesome. I got to meet her for the first time in Bali when
awesome.
It was right after she ran the marathon. Like a lot was happening, and yeah, hats off to her. Hats off to all of you. I don't know what you put your bodies through. I don't even know how you're physically capable of it, but I have definitely heard that time and time again, that that support system, those people on the sidelines cheering you on, that they mean so much more than they'll probably ever even understand. So I think that is cool. So massive shout out to anybody. Like I said, if you are around, please think about coming out and just cheering them on, holding a sign, just yelling out. If you see Julian, yell out to him and tell him he can do this, because they hear you, they feel your energy, and that is what helps get them to that finish line when their bodies just feel like they just cannot keep going anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I think that is so amazing. And there's all these other really cool things leading up to that too, right, Julie? I mean, you probably didn't need it because you kind of train other people to do this, but you have training, you have these amazing moments where you get to be a part of the team. You guys have team dinners, you get to share stories. There's so many cool things. Plus the thing that gets me most excited and almost makes me want to run a marathon. And then I remember I am not athletic. I probably could not do it. It would actually probably kill me. So I don't, but you guys get massages. Amazing.
Yeah. They don't feel as good as you would think after running, because like air hurts, when when air hits you, after you run. So, but it does make life. Because when I ran DC, I didn't get a massage and all that stuff. I literally did I was walking like a mummy for about a week after I ran out, So, but yeah, I was doing the mummy walking with my hips, But
oh shoot.
Yeah,
all worth it,
but yeah,
though, right?
we get massages afterwards. Those guys are pretty awesome. Yeah, it was all of that, and then and just being around there. They have we have our own corral at Roosevelt University, so we can lock our stuff and don't have to worry about it. We're right there, cross the bridge, just walk over to the start finish line. So
it's true. So many big things. And this is going to be a really big year because I don't even remember. Kendra's on, though. Julie's on. You guys can probably chime in and tell me the exact number. I don't want to say it wrong. I feel like it's 250, but I'm not entirely sure. But year after year.
Yeah.
Is it 240?
It's either 250 or 240. One
Okay.
of them are going to chime in and
You guys set us straight. We need your help here on this one. How many exactly? But every year we have been so blessed and so lucky. We've continued to fill our bibs every year and try to get more. Yes, woohoo! 250. So guys, 250 bibs, and they are gone. They are like, let that sink in for a second. The marathon is in October. Those bibs are already gone. We've got a full team. 250 people are going to be out there at the Chicago Marathon, running for Team ALS, running to make a difference. Julian, for your dad, Gretchen, for her husband, for everyone that has lost someone, and for everyone that is being the legs to those right now battling this and cannot run. You guys are doing something so incredible. You are raising massive amounts of money that help us provide free care, free services, research, all the things to get us closer to where we want to be, which is ending this disease. You guys are doing this. So every hat off that I've ever had in the world, hats off to you, Julian, and everybody that is out there running this marathon. You guys are, Carrie's right, you are absolutely rock stars for what you're accomplishing and the reason behind why you are accomplishing this. You're incredible.
And thank you, and thanks everybody that's helping. It's like I saw Julie, our erstwhile leader. Julie, Kendra, Sam, Sarah, Kat. They keep the wheels rolling and keep us in line and make sure we're doing everything. And my big brother John.
Shout out to John.
Yeah.
It's true. This team is.
What was that?
I said this team is incredible. Everybody here. Julian, everybody loves you. Julian rocks. We are cheering you on. Absolutely. And it's true. This is incredible. 250 bibs, Julie. I can't even believe it. What you guys accomplish. I've said it before, and I will never stop saying it. Every time, they just keep blowing my mind. They just keep doing better, bigger, and more amazing things. I am so proud to be a part of this. I'm so proud to get to do it, right?
I'm proud and I'm honored to be a part of the team. So let's do, like I said, let's do it like I'm my old man. So yeah.
I love that. And not only are you a part of Team ALS, but you've got your hands in so many other things here in the best way possible. That's not enough to just run a marathon. You're doing all these other amazing things, and you're one of our ambassadors, which is super cool.
Right.
I want to hit on that for a quick second. What does that mean to you to be an ALS United Greater Chicago ambassador?
And I didn't start doing the stuff I do to be an ambassador. So I can't remember who called me and asked me to be an ambassador. I didn't hesitate. I don't remember if it was either Sarah or Julie. I don't remember, but it was, or Kendra. It was one of the three. I apologize, ladies, but I love it, and it's selfless. The first thing they asked me to do was gift wrapping at the Board of Trade, and I don't know how to gift wrap. So I think it's for Christmas. I don't know how to, but I was like, I'll try, and I don't know how much you raised, $200-300 or whatever, but I was like, I'll try. And then some of the other stuff they wanted me to do, I never wavered, never hesitate, signing in people at the marathon as far as registration, stuffing envelopes to mail out to our donors and everybody on our team, driving out to Cog Hill at 7:00 in the morning just to do that, or working the golf classic. It's fun. They're long days, but they're good long days. And again, it's always an honor. I used to struggle for a while meeting people who had ALS, and then I'm getting that. It's just, and somebody. I remember the first time I struggled, Kendra saw it and just put me to the side. I was like, "You need a hug," and that made all different. But I'm better at it now. But that was always a struggle for me when I first joined the team. But
no words, Julian. I just want to give you a hug through the screen too, because it's tough. It's tough, and I think that a lot of people, which is why being an ambassador is so important. This is still such a unknown disease, which is crazy to say, right? There's just a lot of people don't know ALS. I don't know if you see that. I run into that a lot where people say, "Oh man, I've heard of that, but what is it again?" They don't really know, and it's so it's on us. It's on you. You know, you're out there, you are spreading the word, you're sharing your dad's story, you're teaching people what ALS is so that we can grow our warriors to continue this fight. And oh, it's just awful. It's just
Right,
awful.
right, right.
So what you're doing is so
When they hear Lou Gehrig's disease, then they kind of get it, you know. But as far as, you know, and it was funny, like, you know, the whole when the ice bucket challenge came, I never did it, but I knew it was for ALS. Our dad didn't have it when that hit its peak. I think my brother might have done it. I don't remember, but it was just, you know, I remember thinking it was a good thing, but I didn't know that. I know like a year later it was going to hit home, but nobody knows that. But yeah.
Well, your dad sounds like an absolutely incredible man. Like I said, you're an amazing man. So I know where you get it from, but I think it's beautiful that, well, that too, that goes without saying, Julian. We don't even need to say it. Okay. You're an international rock star.
You're right.
Yeah, we got it. But I think that all of this tragedy, all of the things that happened, the way that you have turned it into something amazing. All these years later, your dad passed away in 2018. You are still fighting in his honor.
Yeah.
You have stepped up. You are spreading awareness. You're an ambassador. You're out there fundraising. You're running. You're doing all these amazing things in his honor. It is mind blowing, and it is such an honor to get to watch you do that for him. So literally thank you for everything that you have done. We're so lucky to have you. I know he's super proud.
Yeah. It's my honor to be doing this. So yeah.
Well, I do want to pick your brain on a lighter note before we all start crying again, because I'm already. Come on. On a lighter note, really quickly before we do go, because this is so important. You and I were talking because you've had 21 years in the industry as a fitness coach, training. You even train people for marathons. You've got the whole health thing figured out, right? I think all of us. I don't know what.
I don't know if I figured it out, but I cracked on it. Yeah, never figured it.
If I say it, it's true, right?
Right, there you go. It's your show. Your show.
I'm just exactly. This is your world, and you do this. And I don't know how many of you watching had made a New Year's resolution to kind of be healthier, be more fit. That's on my list. I'm trying real hard to accomplish that. I fail many a times, but I am trying. All the Mizantis chime in. God bless you. I second that. Mizanti family. But really, I do. But I think this is so valuable. This is your world. What tips, because we know that health and wellness play a huge part in a lot of things that can lead to a lot going on in your body when you're not right. So from your professional standpoint, what tips do you have for some of us that are watching? How can we maybe be a little bit healthier, hit those goals for 2025? How do we take care of ourselves?
Simple thing is if you do want to change, figure out what your why is. And then that's where you first start. And then just like the advice my dad gave me is show up for yourself. And so in regards to that, if it's something as simple as a mentor of mine said, if you're really at ground zero, buy gym shoes and then put them by the front door. And then maybe once a week you walk down the block and back. And then just know it's going to take it. It's not going to happen overnight. Even me, I'm hard on myself, but I don't see results. Tanya will say better than anybody. I eat pretty crappy. I got a thing for gas station donuts.
They're addictive when they're fresh.
Yeah. So, but in all seriousness, is you can do a little bit. Goes drink half your body weight in water. That's the first thing you do. Half your body weight in water. If you can get to 100 ounces of water a day, no matter what you weigh, that's a good starting point. I tell my clients if for every ounce of bad thing, like I drink Red Bull. I haven't had a Red Bull in about a week, but I do drink Red Bull. But for every ounce of a bad drink you got to have 3 ounces of water to offset it.
Ooh, good tip.
So Red Bull is 8 ounces. You got it. What's 8 times? 24. You gotta have 24 ounces of water to
Put you on the
offset
spot
that.
here on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Math quiz coming up next.
I might be engaged to a math teacher too, so that's going to be a problem when I get home.
No.
So, but
No, it was the lights
you
because you
know,
were on the spot.
exactly. But you know, walking is always, if you're a beginner, walking is always free. It's always free, even if we live in Chicago. Walking is always free.
Good point.
It's just do it a simple thing. Everything starts in the kitchen. You know, I mean, the biggest thing I always get is drink half your body weight in water as far as ounces. If you weigh 150 pounds, 75 ounces. Yeah, exactly.
Water
So,
cheers to all my people out there, guys. Let's drink half of our body weight in water, take those extra steps, and just start,
yeah,
right? Just do something.
yeah,
Something is better than nothing.
yeah, right.
I love that. I love that, Julian. And one last thing, and I promise I will let you go because I'm going to go and jump on the treadmill because I feel like after talking to you, after all the things you're doing, I need to go drink half my body weight in water and I need to go work out a little bit to keep up with you. But I love doing this at the end of the show. We talked a lot about your dad, who is absolutely amazing. We know some of the things he loved and how he inspired you to run. He instilled that love of running into you. Now you run in his honor. But what could we do for those of us that aren't able to jump up and run a 26.2 mile marathon? What could we do to honor your dad?
Let's do some Miles Davis tonight. You know, listen to some Miles Davis, Bob Marley, or James Brown, or all three of them. You know, that's probably the best thing. You know, and then the first time he and I shared a drink together, an adult beverage, it was a Heineken. So every year on his birthday, I'll drink a bottle of Heineken. You know, on February 24th. So yeah.
I love that. So grab a Heineken, put on some Miles Davis, James Brown, and just enjoy. I'm going to start a little dance party here with the ones I love, and just enjoy, you guys, and be thankful for your loved ones that you have around you. Oh, I love it. Well, Julian, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for being, seriously, the name is sticking now. Thank you, Carrie Ricky. Thank you for being an international rock star and everything you've done for ALS awareness in your dad's honor. We are so happy and so proud to have you as part of our team. Thank you for being a part of our show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was fun. Thanks.
Good. Well, good. I'm glad you say that because you're coming back. You're coming back after you run that Tokyo. I cannot wait to take a lot of pictures, my friend. We're going to hear all about the training process and what it's like to run for Team ALS in Tokyo.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, I love it. Julian, I will see you real soon. I'm sending you a hug right through the screen. And I love you. Thank you so much for everything you do.
All right. Thanks.
And guys, I told you we had another amazing episode. The things that this man has done to honor his father is absolutely breathtaking. If you want any information on how you can get involved, come out, cheer Julian on at the Chicago Marathon in October later this year. Head over to alsunitedchicago.org. You can find all of the information there. We've got, like I said, we've got a big month coming out. So please keep it in your hearts. If you are thinking about ever donating, volunteering, supporting of all the months out of the year, consider coming and helping and being a part of the ALS United Greater Chicago family, specifically in the month of May for ALS Awareness Month. And as Julian said, guys, be around the people you love. And let's put some Miles Davis on tonight. Let's drink half our body weight in water and let's celebrate the people we love while they are here. And in honor of his father, let's listen to the Miles Davis. I'll see you guys. Come back and tune in to catch the next live episode next month. We will see you then for ALS Awareness Month. Love to all of you and love to Julian. I'll see you guys next time.